we Indian coach education no less than any
Wow.
other countries also.
This I also feel, finances is also an issue. I just want to have an understanding. What how much money if putting it out very bluntly, how much money are coaches earning at different levels? Let's say someone coaching a team at a I League B division to probably then going up to ISL, or even coaches that work with the federation. How does that work? And is there money in the sport for people to actually consider becoming a coach?
Yeah, that was one of the good
Experience.
But in the college, again, everything was football. What I went to do there was Southampton football, business studies, and other things were involved. Like now, so many guys go to do sports management
Yeah.
with Real Madrid involved, Liverpool,
Man Cities,
John
yeah.
Morris
Yeah.
University, Man
Yeah.
City, or
Yeah.
Loughborough.
Mm-hmm.
I was not at all interested in sports management at all. I was clear. I wanted to do coaching, and I want proper, well-rounded program about football coaching, strength and conditioning, analysis, performance analysis, uh, be it sports science in football, and the University of South Wales program gave me that.
Yeah, so talking about these coaching programs, I'm sure I'm also very interested, and I'm sure a lot of people would want to know what actually happens in these coaching programs. Where I think UK is the best example to understand what actually happens. How long was your course?
Okay, mine was a degree, 2 years full-time degree.
Okay.
But what you are mentioning could be a coaching course also, which lot of which happens for 15 days, 10 days. If it's a higher the license, you
Longer the duration.
longer the duration like that. So there are different stages in football ladder as a
Okay.
coaching ladder.
Okay.
So let's say if I take the example of India, you have to do AIFF E license. Earlier it was only D license. Now
Yeah.
I heard it is D license, E license, then D license. These are like basic
Yeah, yeah.
foundation, wherein if you want to become a grassroots coach, how to organize a training sessions based on a topic. Let's say if you want to improve a passing,
Okay.
there is a specific drills you could use. Okay, there are some decision making involved. There are some only to improve the technique.
Okay.
Those kind of how much the distance the markers has to be put,
Okay.
how you manage the players. Let's say you have 20 players, 12 players, odd numbers, even numbers, how you manage, what kind of message you want to give them, how you do your demonstrations, how you manage the idle time, how many players are watching, how many are not watching. It happens in a basic level like this in a
And let's say a E or a D license.
E or a D license.
Okay.
How you take care of the safety bit and these kind of things, which are covered, child safety and these kind of. Nowadays, it's becoming better,
Yeah.
even in the foundation level. So basically, how you teach a different topic to as young as a 5-year-old or 6-year-old, and then if it's a higher age group, you put a bit more advanced, sessions,
And
something
by
like.
advanced section, so I'm just very intrigued. So when we go up the ladder, let's say I complete a D or a C license. So how does the entire curriculum evolve? Like, let's say what happened in the rest of the 2 or 3 stages, right?
Okay, so the E is basically about in the grassroots level,
Yeah.
basic amateur
Passing.
level, just initial step, where the sessions is mainly based about giving a fun and a safe session to the
Okay.
players.
Okay.
Let them fall in love with the game and stay with the game.
Okay.
Not too much technical, advanced things.
Just enjoying the element of the sport.
Yeah. In the D license, you get bit more technical output there. Different forms of technique you are teaching, or different form of objectives you're covering. Managing them, and then involves a little bit of game, the small-sided game we call. And then comes in the C license, you go a bit more into the technical still,
Okay.
but introduction of few tactics,
Okay.
how you manage a 4v4 game.
Okay.
Okay, just basic principles, introduction of basic principles, uh, how they need to stay apart, and give space to each other.
Yeah.
Those kind of basic elements you introduce. In technique, you go a bit more detail in C license. What kind of pass, what kind of session you need, how you progress them. If a player is doing good, for example, in the grassroots level, if you're a C license coach, you get a mixed skill
Pool of
level.
players.
Skill level of players. How you give
Training to
basic
a-
to this guy, advanced to that guy.
Wow.
So like that, it's still, in the C license, you get to experience those things. How you speak to them, involving a little bit of psychology or the four corner model we speak. This is same in even in UK. They touch on the physical, psychological, technical, tactical, the four corner model.
Oh.
You touch upon this. Starts in the C license.
License. So I know especially when we talk about becoming a coach or anyone gives it a thought, one imagines all those Guardiola tactics, inverted football, but there's so many layers
Yeah.
just from basic passing to eventually getting up there.
Yeah. So the next stage is B license, and where you start going in detail about the tactics part, teaching a 9v9 or a 10v10, some associations or NGB do 11v11 also with B license, where you teach what should happen on the ball, around the ball, and away from the ball. What is the movements,
Okay.
trigger, when to move, how to move. Okay, what if the move breaks down?
So
All
this is the sort of detailing that goes.
detail.
Wow.
Let's say a keeper is passing to the center back.
Hmm.
Let's say the basic, the keeper has the ball in a build up or a goal kick.
Yeah.
What all the six players around the ball. In Wales, it was about the six players around the ball.
Okay.
How they should position and what angle,
Wow.
how much the distance. So these things gets detailed, in B license.
So, Jayaraj, is this also how coaching is approached in India? Like, how is coaching in football approached differently if there's a difference between the UK and how it is done in India?
In the past 10 years, the Indian coach education has improved vastly.
Okay.
It's on a very good level now.
And do you think that is credited to the growth of ISL as well?
ISL and also I would say the coach education department who are heading them.
Okay.
They did a really
Great job.
great job. Uh, they realized that to reach the World Cup, we need really good coaches. And the coach education has to be on par. So now I would say we Indian coach education no less than any
Wow.
other countries also, because for example in A license the modules have been split in three now. Earlier I don't know, they used to do one or two contact, but now it's three. Even in B license it's three modules. That means they teach you for 9 days, then you go and work in your club, work on those assignments, hand over them, and then in the next contact program when you come back in 9 days, again you deliver some sessions based on what you were taught in the first module. There's a progression. And now they also look for if you're in what kind of club, who is your mentor, those kind of things, they are taking into consideration to invite people into the courses. If you're comparing, yes, definitely the level of the candidates, the exposure they get, the number of games, what UK coach get, and what Indian coaches get is still a huge difference. That, and I believe with the change of a new management in AIFF, the leaders have been changed there, the president and general secretary. I hope now they are putting things in place of increasing the games. That's a big element. Mr. Richard Hood introduced baby leagues for as young as 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. That was one of the best decisions to happen in Indian football. I mean, if we can't really, it will take time for us, but we are on par to reach there. If you compare about UK or Indian level, there you have people, players, the management, the staff, the expert who have lot more experience, of dealing with high level football. and they are in top, 10 in
Yeah.
FIFA rankings. We
Yeah.
are at,
100 out.
yeah, 100 around. So there is a huge difference. There's a huge difference because of the pool. There's 92 professional clubs in
In
England.
England.
We have, hardly 30 to 40, if you put together ISL and I League and second division, so we have hardly maybe 50 at, still not having like Premier League has 38 games in a season. We have, less than 20
Yeah.
games. So that makes a huge difference. And they have experience of 20 to 30 years, expertise. So yeah, there's a lack, if you compare there. Yeah.
So, Jayaraj, talking about Indian football and its growth and lack of matches, we've sort of seen a transition or slight commercialization of the sport, or probably a bit more structure to the sport with the introduction of ISL. Like it's almost been 10 years, right? How do you think ISL has changed Indian football, if it has?
No, definitely. I mean, getting so many our Indian players are getting a chance to get coached in a foreign coaches of a good level, and then Indian players are getting a chance to train with the foreign players, and more than that, the game is telecasted, the quality of grounds, the marketing or the commercialization or the viewership or the interest, the crowd in the stadium, everything has increased. By that I would say yes, it has created. Like after cricket, I would say there's a big buzz about the football. People are coming to the stadiums. If you say Kerala
Yeah.
or Mohan Bagan or
Or even a
FC
Goa for,
Goa,
yeah.
Bangalore FC,
Yeah.
the numbers have increased. After COVID, it's a little bit less, but definitely I would say it has improved. Our Indian players, the technical level, skill level has improved. The number of games they played, that has improved. Definitely, it has been a very good addition, I would say.
Okay. So, I think this is a discussion I've had with a lot of people, and the problem of India, I think, still lies at the grassroots level, right? And I think the real India is in tier two or tier three cities still, right? And I think, speaking from personal experiences, people at these, tier cities do not necessarily have as big a chance as probably someone in tier one cities have, right? How do you think we solve this problem of, making football reach everywhere?
See, I would say it's a mix because in Manipur, Mizoram, the players in our academy we have so many Manipur, Mizoram players, but they are from villages. Because it's similar as Brazil. They when they grow up, they just have the ball.
Yeah.
They don't have large space in Manipur because of the mountain or hilly region. They get a little bit of small space where they start playing with their brothers.
So
in the
it's more
streets.
more of a mentality of culture, or a culture of football, rather than probably just money or tiers or things like that.
See, the first very thing is the culture. Next thing is the infrastructure. Okay. Third, I would say the chance, the number of games. The competitive games. That's one of the big missing thing.
And this is at all levels.
Yes, yes, at all levels. From when you say under 12 is not getting, if you compare to Spain or other countries,
Like you were telling, try
yeah,
for SFC.
Chef for SFC. Amateur club is getting 20 plus games at a very good level where they have a proper linesman, proper referee, there's proper dressing rooms, the crowds, the parents are coming and watching, cheering, all those things is happening. That thing is missing here. Our kids, they don't have the number of games.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will change, but I would say the 5-10 years back or still now, what happens is, let's say AIFF Youth League is there, a team from Punjab, XYZ club, is playing for 5 games. Okay, if they come in top two, they will go further and play further 5 games.
So, like,
Otherwise,
no
within the
guarantee.
qualifying round, they're out. So the whole year they got the official game is hardly 5 games.
Wow.
If you compare that with a Spanish player of under 12, under 13, or under 14, whatever, that kid is getting 30 to 40 games, proper competitive games.
And I think that is the age where we actually grow as footballers, right?
Yes.
Clear our basics. And, that is, I think, where a lot of transition from youth level to the senior level does not actually happen in the country.
Yeah. So for our national head coach should get a you know, pool of around at least a 50,000
Okay.
players to choose.
Oh.
Then it gets starting to filter down, filter down, filter down, filter down. He'll get a proper elite 100 players to choose
Yeah.
at adult level.
Yeah.
That will only happen if all over India there's clubs, there's games, there's proper infrastructure. There's competition, losing, winning. The players has to experience that. Again, in a European context, a small kid as under 13, he's experiencing winning, losses at such a young age, referee decisions, fouls, cards, disappointments. They're experiencing that pressure of competing, and also the number of hours, the 1,000 hours, the
Criteria.
the 10,000 hours. Still, yes, it applies here also. The talent code, whatever Daniel Coyle has written in his book.
I see a lot of sort of passion coming out of this particular bit. You being the head coach of the under 15, you think, the lack of competitive matches is a problem.
Yeah. At all level, even at senior level, let's say in the I League, we're hardly getting 20 games.
Yeah.
Earlier it was even less. Now there's a bit more games are coming in second division I League, but it's still not at the level
That
we
it should
wish for. So it's for the coaches also. Me as a coach, if I want to improve myself,
Obviously.
I need more exams. What we are doing is just training and friendly games and few hardly 5 competitive games. Even for me as a coach to improve, even I need 40 games. I League, Indian I League coach or ISL coach, he also need 30 to 40 games, in the calendar. Let's say the league, some knockout tournaments, some cup tournaments, this, that, adding all put together, there should be at least minimum 40 games at all level. Then the players will improve, the coaches will improve, and as a whole,
culture of
the culture also develop. More people will start following football. More investment will come. So everything is connected as an ecosystem.
Talking about this, I also feel finances is also an issue. I just want to have an understanding. How much money if putting it out very bluntly, how much money are coaches earning at different levels? Let's say someone coaching a team at a I League B division to probably then going up to ISL, or even coaches that work with the federation. How does that work? And is there money in the sport for people to actually consider becoming a coach?
Yeah. So it depends on the type of license you have.
Okay.
And also the number of years of experience you had.
Okay.
And what kind of team you have coached, and what level, and what kind of exposure you had, what kind of players you produced. All these things, it's
are a cumulative factor.
Let's say an engineer from XYZ college gets this much in the market, and also whether they experience, not experience.
So let's say, what would a I League second division coach be earning with, let's say, a 4-5 year or a 2-3 year experience?
Really, I can't put a number as such.
But a ballpark?
Because again, I've seen very good coaches of A license taking a certain money, which is maybe 50% less than the market, because of the club
finances,
budget, or the circumstances where that guy wanted the job. There's other criteria.
If you have to put a number, what does an average I League coach or a B League coach would earn?
Again, it is vastly different. To be honest with you.
So yeah, we can put a number.
Because a guy with 10 years experience is different. Again, licenses is different. License experience, I can't really put a
bracket
there.
Okay.
To be honest. Plus, I again, I belong to youth coach, youth coach department.
And it also varies from senior team to the youth
Yeah,
team,
so I
obviously.
don't have the real exposure to the senior team. In the youth coaching, or youth coaches get a certain amount, and again, when you say I League, it's senior men, so it's different. And I haven't worked in senior men's level, so I can't really comment on that.